my new display set. I got it kind of laid out right here. You know, I don't know what I'm gonna do with all these. Well, first of all, I think it's a good thing, right? They've eliminated a lot of the cabling and switched it over to ribbon cables. So I'm sure I think I've done a black night with this particular display set, and that was correct. That's how they had it. So this isn't necessarily a bad thing, but what am I gonna do with all these ribbon cables? They're gonna drag the back glass. I mean, they're gonna block the lights. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what I can do with them. So I guess what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drill holes big enough to fit these through. Could probably pinch them down. They don't have to be as wide as, but I'm thinking I need, I don't know. I gotta figure it out. But that's gonna be my plan. So I'm just gonna take all these off. I'm gonna leave them connected. I'll put them over here for a minute. Something that's not staticky. And I'm gonna look at the back side and I'm gonna see where I could drill holes. So if I look at these pins, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think as long as I don't hit anywhere where the ground braid is, I should be okay. And I'm gonna drill a hole. I'm gonna start with this display right here. And I'm gonna drill a small pilot hole through this side, and then I'll use the Forstner bit and drill a bigger hole. All right, there it is. I drilled all the holes. So I started out with this, I think that was like a 5/8 hole over here. It worked, but it was a little tight. I didn't need to revisit it, but I did make the other holes 7/8, and then it already has the slot right here. So just push them back through here. I'll still need to make sure I gather this ribbon cabling up good so it doesn't get in the way of the lights. But before I was gonna have all these ribbon cables running there wasn't gonna be any lights left at all. And then you have to worry about rubbing on the back of the back glass. So I'll try to bundle all this stuff up in a way and tighten it up to where it stays kind of flat and out of the way, but this is gonna be a lot easier to deal with. So it didn't come with, most of these little nuts that hold these on are missing. So they're just number 6s, but they're kind of small. I got some black thin ones that I'll use. Let's see if I can find those. And I think that'll work. So these are black nylon lock nuts, and they're what they're called flats, so they're real thin. Don't think I need to bother with washers. That's adjustable side to side. I don't know. I just kind of put it together and then I'll loosen them up and move them around as I need to. Preference would be to tighten them enough to where I can push them side to side, but that they don't move, and I think that's pretty much where I'm at there. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna screw these down to where it still kind of drags a little bit, and that way I won't have to break out tools to adjust them. There's the lamp panel built up, displays are in place. Got this stuff bundled up really well. No lights are covered. I'm pushed this maybe a little bit tighter. I'll see if it drags the back glass. But everything's plugged in. I had to refer to some pictures online to figure it out, because when it came in with everything unplugged, just kind of dangling around, you want to make sure you get everything right. But I feel pretty confident in it. I tied the wiring through open looms now. I probably could have went a little bit smaller here, but I'll see how it all comes together. But I like the open looms. The closed looms I like for a lot of things, like you saw me use the black ones, and I really bundled up the cabinet wiring tight. That's because you're not going to be messing with that stuff. But this, you got to unplug things to get the head off of here, probably move it around. So having to come up with a screwdriver and unscrew everything and unclamp everything sucks. So the open looms work really well for that. And I think everything's good. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm gonna power it up. Now, the only reason I can't on these on this era game and like early Bally solid states, I can usually turn on the cabinet and at least check my work, because the playfield plugs in separately from everything else. So hopefully this thing turns on and we don't have any real issues, but we're gonna find out together. I'm gonna actually plug it in and turn it on with the back box open, just so I can get a look at the boards. Want to make sure nothing goes kaput. No strange sounds or hums or whatever. Well, I don't want to say no strange sounds or hums, because these things usually hum anyway, but I don't know. Let me make sure I got it off. I know it's off or on. It's definitely off. Plug it in. And I don't know. I had to come up with a transformer. I didn't have, he saw what I started out with, so I'm nervous. I'm gonna admit it. I'm nervous. Stand back. Well, let's see. Yeah, the displays are on. The light, I mean, they could be a little bit brighter. I could think that's adjustable. But yeah, it's on. It's kind of on. It's working. The coin door, the lights are lit up there. All right, well, I don't know. I guess that's good, right? All right, let's just leave it at that for right now. I don't want to know anything else. All right, I am going to restore the original shooter housing, because it's got the W logo, and this is metal. I'll be able to polish this stuff up. I have a brand new one. I was going to put that on, but no W logo. It's plastic. I don't know. Kind of feel better about doing that. So this, I'm just gonna wash this really good. I'm gonna scrub it with a brush. I'm gonna put polish on that brush and brush it, and it should come back around no problem. I do have some nicer ones if I have to, if I run into that. I don't have any of these. I have some kind of close, but they're Bally, so they're a little bit longer. So I'll just go over that. So what I'm gonna do is just chop this up in my drill, take a red Scotch-Brite, turn it. That's the first step. That's going to get it clean. All right, yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, that looks like turned aluminum. That's probably what it is. All right, let's polish it. Oh yeah, that looks good. All right, so this will work. All right, there it is. That other housing, that wasn't gonna clean up. I cleaned up some, I polished that, but it was just too pitted, so I did have a better one. You're not gonna have a new one of these because they don't make them new, but I got a good one. Looks good. Put it right on there. that. I don't have it very tight yet. I want to adjust it when I get the playfield in there, but it looks good. Cabinet's pretty much done. I think we can start thinking about the playfield now. I've got some stuff kind of laid out for it already. All right, this is the playfield. It's an NOS playfield. Somebody's cleared this a good while back because it's been here a couple years. It looks pretty good. I mean, I could critique it. I could say what's wrong with it, what I don't like about it, what I could do better with it, but I don't really need to. It looks good enough. There's not enough improvement ahead of this thing to want to start over and shave it all down and clear it again. These can be very problematic to clear anyway because the inserts tend to really absorb the clear. Some of them are dipped and domed and dished, and it's real hard to level them. So that's been taken care of. I got enough stuff to do. I don't need to go down that path with this thing unless I really had to, and I don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-drill all the holes so it won't chip and shatter, because I did put a screw in there and it chips, which I see that a lot. I'm not surprised, but I'm going to go ahead and I'll pre-drill all the holes. I'll probably run over it with the buffer just to make sure it doesn't have any kind of storage scratches or marks from banging around. And then I'll put a fresh coat of gray paint on the underside of it so it looks fresh under there, and we'll be ready to assemble it. Bit. Hoping that's enough to break the seal on here. I'm just gonna, if I see a dimple, I'm gonna drill it. I may or may not use that dimple during the assembly process, but I'm not too worried about these ones under the apron. I'll hit them for good measure. This is my little test zone. I do want to open up these jet bumper nail holes because these can definitely shatter when you go to hammer those in. So go ahead and do that. I'm running the drill bit backwards to do that. At least to get them started, and I'll revisit them afterwards. Here we go. So I missed this step. The last night I had to drill a series of holes in this playfield. I had to drill all the holes for the T-nuts. I couldn't do that previous to that because I needed the old playfield stripped so I could lay it on top of this one and drill through it. And by the time I got around to that, I'm not in video mode. It's 7 or 8 o'clock at night. I'm trying to relax. I'm not trying to make videos. But I did do that, and all those holes are in place. And if I don't capture some things this time around, I'll capture them the next time around. It's not that big a deal. I got tons of projects, and they all have different needs and different situations. So, so this playfield is actually ready to use now, and I did freshen up the gray underneath here. I just used like a gray automotive base coat and a little foam roller, a little mini foam roller. It's got to be foam. You don't want the nap one, and just roll it out, and it dries real quick, and it looks nice. And yeah, backwards look. So we're good there. So we'll close this part out, and we're going to start getting into what it's going to take to build this, but we can't build this until we tear the old one down, which I've done, but in the interest of having everything flow properly, that'll be in the next series of videos.